guys, it's Jewelyn and Abby. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome to another Planting with Jewelyn episode. It is the middle of April on a Thursday afternoon. It is on the chilly side. Abby has her pajamas still and I have a long sleeve on. We're going to be doing a bunch of planting today. Some new plants, some old plants, a lot of cuttings that need to be put into planters, as well as some adopted plants that Kira gave to me on my last Vegas trip. Abby is ready to go and play with her toys. I'm gonna go ahead and give a quick shout out to my grandma for making this awesome new apron for me. You guys know I love wearing my apron with my Planting Jewelyn episode. This is the extra material that we ended up having leftovers from my wicker chair vintage thrifted reupholstering DIY, which I do share on my channel. It is absolutely perfect. I love the little bold detail and the ruffles, and Tiffany blue is my favorite color. So give my grandma a big shout out and comment down below, and I am absolutely loving my new apron. I set up my station here for the video on my Tiffany blue table with my new patio layout. As you can see, I will do a separate video with an updated patio tour, and you see my potting bench is here. I was going to film today's video on my potting bench, but with the lighting right now in the day, it was better to film here to get natural lighting. So I have my little potting station here, and of course I'm seated down, so very comfortable and relaxed here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start off with my spider cuttings. I do have 3 of them, and they've been living in this water propagated bottle for a good minute. I have these little planters, which are the same planters that I've been using in my recent videos, but in different colors. You guys seen on my recent haul with my grandma, we talked about these planters. So I have the baby blue, and then of course the cobalt blue color. I'm gonna go ahead and plant 3 of my spider cuttings into these. And this is long awaited. I've been wanting to plant them up for a while, but I think where they are as far as for root wise, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out, you will see that it is definitely time. So this has been sitting in water for a good minute and living most of the time in my bathroom, and then I recently brought it out when we made the change with my patio to live on the top shelf of my potting bench. Spider cuttings are very easy to propagate, and I am really excited to see how fast they grow on me. And as far as for my other cuttings that I did propagate and plant up in a previous video, they're doing good. So let's go ahead, plant these up really quickly and move on to more plants. And I am really excited to be back home. I had a nice trip in Las Vegas with my grandma and my mom, seeing all of my plants, which you guys see on my channel. I did do an updated plant tour of all of my plant babies living in Vegas, and they're doing really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly plant these ones up, and I think it works out really great with the light blue planter here. So here's one. We'll go ahead and take a look at the next cutting here. Look at all these roots, nice and healthy, as you can see. We're gonna go ahead and get the other planter here, fill it up with dirt. And also, thank you, Grandma, for filling up my potting bucket here with fresh soil. Perfect for today's video. And I have the next cutting in here. I'm gonna top it off with dirt. We've been working really hard with my patio space, so I will definitely go ahead and do a patio update before my grandma leaves in a week. She's been here for the whole month, which was really nice. We got to do a lot of videos together. I got to spend lots of quality time with her, and we're doing a lot of sewing projects, which of course makes me really happy that I get to work in my beautiful costumes that we made together. So here is the finished look of this cutting here, side by side. What do you guys think? I don't know what I'm gonna do with these cuttings because I have so many spider babies, but it's just nice to go ahead and plant them up, and maybe I'll give them to friends. Here is the cobalt blue planter, and if you take a look at this cutting here, take a look at those roots. Isn't that crazy? So we're gonna go ahead and plant it up. It is well overdue. And we'll go ahead and move the babies out of these when they get a little bit bigger. But for now, I think they look so cute in this planter, and I have tons. If you guys see my recent haul videos, I am stocked up. I bought them out, and I never have to worry for small planters in the near future. And that's fine, because all of my cactus and succulents, I like to have them in the small planters individually planted up by itself versus in a garden setting, so that they can just have its own moment. So this is what it looks like in the Cobalt blue planter, which I think is absolutely stunning. So here's the 3 spider cuttings side by side, planted up. What do you guys think? There is a drainage hole under here, so I'm not worried about that. And they'll just live here in my patio until further notice. Okay, let's go ahead and do a quick shift to cactus and succulent cuttings that I needed to go ahead and put them into soil that's been propagating. I have 2 of my rescue petals from the Santa Monica stairs. You guys remember that video from last year? So I have my soil here ready to go. I have my planters here. We're gonna fill them up and then place them into their new home. This makes me really excited because this came off of just one simple abandoned leaf. Take a look at all of the growth here. Lots and lots of roots here as well as here. So I think that is amazing off of one little leaf. It's been living on the shelves out here for a good minute. So it's time to go ahead and graduate them to their new home. I have no idea where this is going. I am assuming somewhere out here will make space. And yes, if you guys look at my background, it is different. We will be doing an updated patio tour, so stay tuned for that. But I definitely wanted to go ahead and do this Planting with Jewelyn episode prior to any of that, because these babies definitely needed to be put into their new home. I think I'm gonna bring it up a little bit more. I think that will do. So tiny. Fragile little baby. So there it is. We'll just leave it as that. See how it does. And then also, here's my second one. Make a little hole here. And then, without damaging it, and there it is, super cute. To be very careful. Okay, so here they are in their new little planter. I'm giving them a white planter because they deserve it. They grew so far from just a petal on the street to a beautiful baby plant. So that is going to wrap up the 2 rescues turned from petal to plant. I'm gonna talk about the 2 rescues that I adopted that Kira gave me over the weekend. These are 2 of her babies. I am going to place them in white planters. Let's talk about this succulent first here. I have something similar to this but with bigger petals, probably the same species, I'm not sure. Do you guys know the type of succulent this is? But take a look at all of this growth here. Can you see all of the roots, the water roots? I'm going to pull it out so you can see it. Here is all of the water roots. I am going to carefully place this cutting into its new home. Use my fingers to ground it. Kira, if you're watching this video, thank you for the new cutting. It's going to meet the rest of the plant fam. And of course, I always do updates. And it'll look like this. I know it's kind of crazy, but for now, it'll be like this. What do you guys think? I know it's crazy, but I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe get it up here, maybe with a little chopstick, who knows, or maybe, you know what I'll do? I'll go ahead, put it a little bit deeper on the bottom here, since it's so leggy, and then I'll go ahead and add the extra dirt. So most of the stem is in the dirt. I think I'm gonna try that method, and then use my fingers to kind of get it in place, packed. That looks better. I don't know, I probably might get a chopstick, guys, and do this to kind of help it out. We'll see what it can do for that, but for now it's in a planter and in dirt, which is what I wanted to do for today's video. Now moving along to this guy. I don't know the species of this cactus, so let me know. And yeah, big shout out to my grandma for getting me these plastic tool from a thrift shop, which works perfect for my planting videos. So I have it in my white planter. I'm just gonna go ahead, put some dirt in here. place it in here. Kira wanted to give me this guy because she said it's not doing good in Las Vegas. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it. To me, it doesn't look that bad. What do you guys think? Add some dirt in here. Let's pack the soil down so it's nice and fitted in here. And I think this is the only cactus that I have in today's video, so I'm not gonna bust out my gloves, but I will use my toothbrush end here to kind of pat down the dirt around it so that it is nice and in place in this new home. I will definitely go ahead and send Kira new pictures of her babies in their new home, but I think this looks pretty good. What do you guys think? It rained earlier this morning while I was at work, so the plant babies outside got a little shower. This is the new look. I think it works out great. Kira, your baby is in good hands. So let's talk about the plants that I personally have in my collection that are new that I want to go ahead and plant up. So I did all of the cuttings, all of the rescues. Let's go ahead and do the rest of the plants. I want to do one shift, and I'm going to go ahead and take my arrowhead, which has been struggling. I do mention that my arrowheads are struggling in my collection. This is one of them, as you can see, very thin. It's living in a terracotta. Because it's so tiny, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out, transplant it into a different planter, and then I'm going to use this planter, which is breathable, for my Pink Princess Philodendron, which you guys seen the recent unboxing on my channel. Now this is a very expensive plant. I try to not spend more than $10 on my plants, but if I do splurge, I splurge a lot, and this cutting almost cost me about $100, and this is the condition of the plant. It's been living in this planter, which came in the mail, for way over a week. I wanted to go ahead and let it settle and get acclimated to its new home and not stress out the plant. Now that it's been in my collection and living on my patio for a while, it is time to go ahead and put it into a new planter. Now I'm going to try to see if I can just use the same soil. I don't know what the root condition is of this plant, so I'm going to pull it up and see how long is the roots here without damaging the root system here. So I'm just doing a little squeeze here on the planter to slowly get the roots out. Wow, it is super long. Do you guys see this? So healthy root system. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of the dirt out. Okay, so here is all of its roots, which makes me happy that it is rooted. That's always a good sign. And then you can see the condition of the plant here. There is a little chopstick here with the toothbrush end. And then I'm gonna go ahead and slowly fish the roots back into the planter here without damaging any of the roots. It'll live in this planter for a while. I wanted to choose a terracotta planter for this because it is breathable and I don't want to stress out the plant. I don't know what this is, but it is dead, which makes me really sad. I don't know what to do with this, but probably dump it, and then with the rest of the soil I'm just gonna top it off in here. And this leaf is dead, so let's go ahead and prune this off, which makes me really sad, but that happens. I'm just glad that there's roots. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top off the planter with my soil so that it is nice and stable. The chopstick is still attached to it. I'm gonna leave it as that until I see it growing a little bit more, and then I'll do some shifting here. But my main concern is making sure that it is planted upright and stable. So this is the condition of my new baby. What do you guys think about my Pink Princess Philodendron? One baby on my wish list checked off, and this is its new home. So breathable planter, perfect for house plants, and it'll live here until further notice. I'm thinking maybe for the rest of the year, and then maybe next year I'll go ahead shift it to a beautiful white planter, but for now it's going to live here. And I'm gonna move on to the last plants that I have in front of me. But I'm gonna get a planter for this guy, and then we'll go ahead and do the last two. Got another white planter from my potting bench. I'm gonna see if I can take the axis dirt off. I don't know what the root condition of this plant is, but we'll just take the axis dirt off, see if it'll fit in here. And then it's temporary housing until I find another planter. I mean, I could just put it in a nursery planter until it gets a little bit bigger, but this is fine for now. It actually looks better in this planter. Why? Because it's more proportionate to its size where it's at right now, and of course in white. So here's its new home for now. Let's talk about my two new babies, guys. I have one beautiful Birdsnest snake plant, which I got in San Diego. I am in love with this. I don't have this in my collection. I have a ton of them, but in different variations. When I seen this in the San Diego nursery, where I filmed the Come With Me, I had to pick up this plant. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it into this planter, which Kira gave to me along with her rescue. So I'm just gonna reuse it. There is a drainage hole in here, and I'm gonna use the bigger shovel to fill the bottom. And then let's go ahead and pull this baby out to see what its condition is like. So again, I squeeze the nursery planter to loosen everything up and shimmy everything out. So as you can see, the root system is very healthy. I'm going to take everything off that I don't like, pack it down, and then fill in the spaces. I think this is adorable. If you look, there's little pups here and here. So I got this for $7 and some change, which I think is on the expensive side, but I haven't seen this particular variation, I don't think so, before, so that's why I wanted to get it. There was another one that I seen that I wanted to get, but I didn't want to spend more than $10 in that store, so this is the one that I ended up walking out with. I think that looks good. I'm not going to pack on any more dirt. Here is what it looks like, and I think that worked out great. So thanks, Kira, for the planter. I pretty much used it right away for another plant, and that is going to be it for this guy. I will brush it off a little bit because I see there's some little fragments from my big tree above my house on it, but I am in love with this one. I will definitely have to do a big collection video of all of my different variations. Last plant here is my beautiful Maiden Hair. Now this was my free plant from the West Hollywood nursery that I got in the recent Come With Me video with my grandma when I took her to the nursery. I'm gonna plant it up in this planter, which, by the way, guys, I thought I already had this particular design because I do have two more like this from Home Goods, but it's actually a whole different design as far as pattern wise, but same planter. So now I have three just like this with different prints on it. I got this one on sale for $3 because there is a little chip here, so I asked for a discount. We can go ahead and turn it here, and it's not that bad of a chip. I couldn't pass it up because why? It is in my particular theme, and that I already had two of the same style planter and other prints. It just worked out well that I got another one here. So I'm gonna see what the root system looks like here. I had a Maiden Hair over a year ago, but I was traveling a lot to Las Vegas over a year ago, so it didn't like my schedule, and it actually died on me. It actually grew and then died, and then grew again and died, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just wait for a little bit to redeem myself, and then here I am. So that was really nice that I was able to get this plant for free. Maiden Hairs and ferns in general are very picky plants. They like you know, shaded, sunny areas, so not direct sun, indirect sun, and then it likes to have watering and misting. So right now the soil is wet. I'm not gonna water it today. It will definitely get a mist at the end of the video, and I think it works out so great in this. It's just perfect. I hope there's room on my shelf for this plant because it matches great with the rest of them on my plant shelfie. So here is my beautiful Maiden Hair. And let's move on to one more extra thing that I want to talk about. So I have these cuttings in here, and I found them off of a plant, which I'll go ahead and insert the photo, on a recent hike that Kira and I, along with her dog Pepper and my dog Ebby, and I ran into this plant out in nature in the Las Vegas desert, and I couldn't help but pick up a few pieces here. So there was one already fallen and calloused over, but I'm gonna be very careful, guys, because there is tons of baby pokies on here and I don't want them to get in my skin. I'm gonna use my tool here and not try to shake the bag before the little fragments come off. This is what one of them looked like. So this has a calloused end, as you can see, which was laying out in the desert I don't know how long. And then I took two more cuttings. I'm gonna take one back to my mom's house, but for now it'll live in nursery planters until they build their wings. So this is one other one here. It's a fresh cut but slowly callousing over. And then I'm gonna show you another one here. It's bigger with two blooms. So here's the last cutting here. There is some blooms on here. I don't know if it's going to bloom now that it's propagated, but I did have to go ahead and do the propagation with my hands and some rocks and Evie's little bag here that is on her leash. So here's what the cutting looks like. As you can see, it's almost shaped like a heart with two blooms on there, and I don't know if it'll bloom after it is repotted, but it's been calloused over, as you can see. And I actually got this on Sunday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so about 5 days. I think that's good enough for now. What I'm going to do is place them into these 3 planters here, which I just emptied out, and they're just gonna live in there until they get rooted, and then we'll do some switch outs. I will take one of them back to my mom's so I can have a cutting there. And that is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed today's video. Also, if you like my new apron and the new background here. There will be, again, like I said, an updated patio tour coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And you know, these cuttings are really unexpected, guys. So when I was living in the Bay Area, that was one thing I like to do, was take Evie on hikes and pick wild succulents. And then on this particular weekend in Las Vegas, hiking with Kira, I ended up running into this cactus and seeing the cutting calloused over, and I was like, I'm gonna rescue it. And then also I'm gonna take 2 extra cuttings so that I can have cutting for my house as well as Las Vegas. So this is what it looks like. Super cute. Let's straighten it up a little bit more. Again, with this particular guy, there is tons and tons of little fuzzy pokies on here, so I'm not gonna really touch it anytime soon. It'll live here in its garden planter until further notice. Let's plant up this one here. So this one is going to go to my mom's house next weekend, which will be with the rest of the plant babies. Let's go ahead and put a little bit more dirt on that side and on this side. My grandma is busy sewing my Belly Dance costumes, so she didn't want to join today's video. But she will be in another video, guys, before she goes back to Las Vegas and flies home to Hawaii. She's here with me for another week. Here is the next cutting here. We'll bring it up a little bit more. That is good enough for now. And then the last cutting is going to go into this planter. Now, behind me on the left of my potting bench is the rescue and propagation station, where I put all of my cuttings that are not in beautiful planters and they're still growing or struggling. It's kind of like my little rescue propagated station. So it'll go ahead and live on that shelf with the rest of the cuttings and propagations that I'm currently working on, and then we'll see how they look like in the end of the year. I'm sure it'll root by then. I will probably have to do maybe a little pull tug test to see if it got any roots. But let me know down in the comments below, guys, how fast does like if you propagated any cactus, how long does it take to propagate them from getting a cutting like this and then putting it into dirt and seeing how fast it roots. Let me know down in the comments below. But I think it worked out great. We went ahead and used the nursery planters in today's videos for them, and I'm gonna leave them on the shelf behind me. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below. I am really happy with everybody and their new home. Let's go ahead, clean up my space, and wrap up the video. Guys, I have all of my plant babies here. I'm just giving them a little mist. Nobody's going to get watered today because they don't need any watering, but definitely a misting. I'm very happy that I got to plant up my pink princess philodendron as well as my maiden hair, my beautiful Birdsnest snake plant, as well as all of my cuttings and propagation babies. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what was your favorite plant in today's video, and also let me know if you enjoy my Planting with Jewelyn series. I definitely love going ahead and just sharing with you guys all things plants. You can find more on my blog at ilovejewelyn.blogspot.com, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Aloha! Bye!